Joining me now, Fox News contributor DeRoy Murdoch and attorney constitutional law expert Jenna Ellis. First, Jenna, I'll start with you on the legal merits of this. Some are saying it can be done with the executive order. Others are saying that the interpretation of the 14th Amendment applied to slavery and not to illegal immigrants. Where do we stand from your point of view of the Constitution?
Yeah, well, President Trump has consistently maintained a very constitutional position when he has touched immigration before. He won the travel ban case, and also with the executive order in the family separation issue. I think he's going to be very careful here that he wants to remain consistent with constitutional law and is going to want to win this issue. And so from the perspective of the 14th Amendment, if you go back and look at the legislative history, Mr. Howard, who was on that particular amendment and on the record there, was saying specifically during the debate that it doesn't apply to children of immigrants who aren't citizens. And so if you go back and actually take the legislative history into consideration, I don't think that the 14th Amendment should be an issue. But even if we look at the scope of where Congress should intervene and act, then I think it's clear that Congress by statute can certainly cure this issue, and whether or not President Trump has executive authority to do what he's claiming, I think will depend on the scope of the executive order. Okay, so maybe on the executive order, but this won't have any problems with respect to the 14th Amendment. So, Leroy, we've got Senator Graham earlier today saying he would introduce legislation to make this possible. Moments ago, as we were coming on, Senator Ryan rejecting the idea of using an executive order. So already you're getting some pushback from within the party. Your thoughts on this, particularly 1 week to the midterms?
Well, I think that I'm dubious about this being something to be done by executive order. The Constitution seems pretty clear about this, maybe by statute. I think under the substance of this, I happen to be someone who's born of immigrant parents. My mother and father came to the U.S. from Costa Rica in '62. I was born in '63. But guess what they did? They came legally. They got visas. They went to the U.S. Embassy in San Jose, Costa Rica, and they got permission. And I think if you come to the United States with permission, with documents, et cetera, this ought to be available to you. If you break into our country, you come in illegally, I think you and any children you have here ought to get a one-way ride back to the border.
So
sit back from whence you came.
From a political point of view, this is something I saw a video of Senator Harry Reid about 20 years ago saying that it was insane that he said no sane country would have birthright citizenship. So you've had both sides of both political parties push back against this notion.
That certainly happened, and you can look back at videos of Chuck Schumer about maybe 10 years ago railing against, quote, illegal aliens, unquote, using that exact term. So the Democrats have gone far to the left on immigration. The whole point I've made on this over and over and over again is if you want to come to the United States and be part of the American dream, it's very simple. Go to the U.S. Embassy nearest to your home and fill out a visa application. And if you do that, we're good. If you run across the country and break into our country, we should throw you back over the border, period.
Jenna, I think that the idea of using an executive order, though, underscores from President Trump's point of view, is that Congress never does anything. And in other words, we've had administration after administration from both sides of the aisle, whether it's fighting back against China, whether it's this sort of topic, just complain, but never achieving anything. And perhaps in his haste or wanting to just get this done, President Trump is talking about an executive order. But ultimately, is this something that you think he could prevail on if he pushed it even through Congress?
Well, I think that the timing of this really underscores why the midterm elections are so important, because if the Democrats, if they win control of the House, then you know that this issue is just going to be completely stagnated and will never get to any meaningful debate or resolution from Congress. And so for President Trump to consistently push Congress to act, particularly when we're less than a week out to midterms, is really going to play in his favor. I think that conservatives and also even liberals, as you're mentioning, even Chuck Schumer and other Democrats from just a decade ago were very consistent that we need to make sure to protect our borders. And so what I think that President Trump is going to do, if in fact he does release an executive order before the midterms, is make sure that it's legal, make sure it's constitutional. It'll be very scaled, but he'll probably encourage Congress to act. And I think that they should. And from the Dobson Family Institute perspective, we're hearing from so many families that are saying that they are voting red because they care about protecting American families. And that ultimately, I think, will drive out the vote come next week.
All righty, Jenna and DeRoy, thank you both very much.